It's 8:38. We visit with the folks from the city of Bryan and Mayor Pro Tem James Edge here this morning. Good morning, Councilman.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Good morning.
Glad you're with us this morning. Say, let's first of all talk about your longtime police chief, Eric Buskey, has announced his retirement. Is this the first major department head who's been there for a long time that's retired recently,
It is.
to your knowledge?
Certainly the first one since I've been on council.
Yep.
Chief Buskey's done a fantastic job. I mean, we've relied upon him for years now. We're going to miss him. He's got the big shoes to fill, but we're confident that we're going to find someone that will be hopefully just as good as Chief Buskey.
So kind of break down for us, which positions does the council have a say-so in, and then the others the city manager takes care of?
Well, the police chief works for the city manager. The city manager will be intimately involved. The council will also be involved. Typically, in a position like this, we'll do a nationwide search, but we're also going to look from within. I believe we're going to hire an interim in the meantime while that search is taking place, and at that point, it'll be up to the council to approve. But the city manager ultimately will be the one to bring us someone in order to look at.
Okay, let's have a kind of an update on a couple of things. First of all, the Phillips Event Center. Where are we there?
Well, we are nearly there. I'm hesitant to give you a drop dead date because every week and every month we get an update. There's a number of basically punch list items that we're working on. Otherwise, it's 98% there. We had some hiccups with supply chain issues. We had some hiccups related to a chiller that I think was manufactured in Mexico. That was delayed due to a lot of the supply chain issues due to COVID. And then after that, we had some issues related to transportation trying to get it here. So there's been a lot of small little hiccups like that have been responsible for this delay. But it's in my single-member district, so I get out there fairly often to take a look. The building is beautiful. It's going to be a fantastic asset for the community. It's going to be able to hold deal with several large events at any given time. So it's really going to be a great asset. It's a beautiful building. We just need to get it finished. And truthfully, I'm going to say somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 weeks. I'm hesitant to be.
Well, we've been talking about this for almost 2 years, I guess. Yeah, we have to come up with new ways to say the same thing over and over again. There's just so many extenuating circumstances when it comes to that. We also were talking this morning. You got a presentation this week about a new creation inside one of the playgrounds. It's going to look like a giant bird, a swan.
Forget the swan. It's not going to be a swan.
Okay, all right.
I think we made ourselves clear at council. The Darwood Foundation, which is Doug French and his wife, Kara, they've been extremely generous. They have donated generously $2 million for the project. Ultimately, it hopes to be a destination type of park facility there. It will include, playgrounds. It will include a lot of amenities for young children, as well as a restroom facility that I think made the news. But I want to make it clear the swan is probably not going to be part of that. There will be an anchor, something there. We don't know if it's going to be, I think somebody suggested an armadillo. There's an option for an eagle. We don't know if it's going to be an animal or a rocket ship or whatever. That's probably what we're going to spend a little bit of time on with the architects and with the designers, because we want something that's going to be a sort of an anchor for that area, something that we can look at 5 and 10 and 20 years from now and still be proud of it.
Hey, remind us where that's going to be. Then.
That's going to be it's basically, if you're looking at the park, the Legends Event Center, and where it's right up along the lake, between the Legends Event Center and where they're currently building the Movie Bowl Grill.
Okay.
Movie Bowl Grill, actually the walls are going up now. So if you go and you look basically halfway between there, there's going to be that's where they're going to have that park facility. It's going to be accessible through there'll be one of the parking lots that actually currently exist will be in a perfect location to service that particular facility.
Well, you mentioned the bathroom, so let's go ahead and
yes.
we chatted about it yesterday on the show, but I mean, your thoughts.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. I think we discussed this with Spa Glass, and they were looking at about $600,000 for a restroom. It's not climate controlled. It's really hard to get your arms around the idea of spending that kind of money. And of course, there's a lot of things when you're dealing with municipal government, when you're dealing with state law, you're dealing with both environmental and ADA type of requirements that all cost money, and we understand that. We also understand that this restroom facility is going to service the entire park, not just the little playground area. It will be available for everyone that's in the park and utilizing park facilities. Still kind of hard to believe. There's a really good John Stossel video in which he talks about bathrooms in New York City and how they built a public restroom in New York City for about $2 million. And there's another private park in New York City called Bryan Park, and they've got a restroom facility there that I want to say cost in the neighborhood of $600,000. But it is so beautiful and so nice that it's a destination. And I've been there, and to be honest with you, if you're in New York City and you need the facilities, go to Bryant Park and use the restroom there because it's fantastic. They've got a butler, and they've got fresh flowers. It's beautiful. We will not have any of that.
Okay, yeah.
But I will tell you, we made it clear to the contractor that that we expect the tax dollars to be spent wisely because the taxpayers are going to be coming to us. And if they, now that the cat is out of the bag and that we believe we're spending $600,000 on this facility, it better darn well be worth it. And because the public's going to let us know if it's not.
Well, you don't want to get in an arms race about anything, but I mean, it is Texas. It does get hot, and we discussed in our little segment yesterday on the show the very idea that it's already hot. Maybe you've been in a sports event, and the last thing you want to do is come into something that's not climate controlled. Does the city then start thinking about, okay, we are in Texas, and the reality is that there are other places? Because I think of quite often any kind of a competitive situation you have athletically, you want to bring dollars in from outside the market. You want those dollars to come in. And if they say, well, yeah, but the bathrooms were nicer in Denton, Texas, then all of a sudden you're in an arms race over something you didn't even think about.
Yeah. Well, you look at Buc-ee's and understand the importance of something. I mean, people will go out of their way if you've got clean, safe facilities like that. We hope, we anticipate, we want something nice. We don't want the Taj Mahal. We're not looking to build something that's going to be embarrassingly opulent, but we do want something that's going to be safe, that's going to be effective. A public facility like this, you've always got to deal with those things you don't want to have to talk about, the vandalism and things that people unfortunately do. And so you have to build a facility like that that's somewhat resilient to those types of things, and that also adds to the cost. But you're right. The idea of spending money for the sake of having something, we want something that people basically utilize, but we don't want them going back home and saying, guys, you got to come back and see this restroom.
Yeah, there you go. So, anything else this morning?
Oh, there's lots. I mean, the chamber fly-in, we just got back last week. We had representatives from both Bryan and College Station, Texas A&M, local businesses. The chamber does this fly-in every year. We had an opportunity to visit with our member of Congress. We had an opportunity to visit with a number of additional Texas representatives. And Congressman McCall actually assisted us in having some members come in and speak to the group. Even our former Congressman Flores, had a role in helping organize some of the events, and we're very grateful to him as well. It was pretty fascinating because we did learn a lot of members of Congress know where Bryan College Station is. Good. We've got some big things on the horizon that I think the mayor might have talked to you a little bit about. I think Senator Cornyn might have spoken maybe too soon, but he talked about some things. Congress is very aware of the economic development project that we hope to make an announcement fairly soon about, and that's very exciting. Chancellor Sharp was anticipated to be at our council meeting Tuesday night. He was traveling. He was actually on the road, so he couldn't be there. But he sent a written statement in which he indicated that the proposed project, he said, would be bigger than Texas A&M. Now, we dispute that, but it could potentially be the largest economic development project in the history of Brazos County, at least as a single entity. So we're very excited about that. We just got through with the big barn dance, which we had anticipated. That was something they'd done in Taos, New Mexico for years. It was a great success. We had a little weather hiccup, had I don't know how many inches of rain in the days leading up to it, but it didn't stop the fun. We had a great crowd. They hope that that's going to be a annual event, hopefully. And so we've got a lot going on in Bryan. The part of downtown Bryan, we had some presentations recently about some proposals that could bring in an additional hotel, that could bring in some additional retail as well as retail, restaurants, hotel, even some multifamily. So there's a lot going on in Bryan. I wanted to also mention, if I could, we need lifeguards. City of Bryan operates several different public pools, and this time of year, we're getting cranked up, getting ready for summer. And if you are 16 years old or older, or if you have a child or a grandchild that's 16 years old or older that wants a fun summer job, I think the starting pay is $12 an hour. They will actually reimburse you for your training from the Red Cross that's required in order to be a lifeguard. And so if anybody's interested, they can go to bryantx.gov and apply online.
All right, it's the deal. James Edge, he's the Mayor Pro Tem. Thanks for the time this morning.
All right, thank you.
You bet.